I'm the young gun. I'm the young gun. Oh, I'm the young gun. I'm the young gun. Grassroots grind.
All right. So, what's up, gentlemen?
What's going on? What's good?
This is our coaches podcast. We're gonna do a quick round robin and introduce ourselves, talk about our background and kind of how we found ourselves coaching these girls. I'll start because y'all got a lot more decorated careers from a coaching perspective than I do. My name is Cedric Hill. They call me Coach Cedric. I am a decorated street legend. That's what I'm a self-proclaimed street legend. Played high school ball, had a lot of scholarships, lost those scholarships because of my attitude. And that's one thing that I try to pour into the girls. But I played basketball my whole life, basketball family, grew up playing basketball. Right on time. I love you. Get the glass. That Crown Royal, if you're watching, link in the description, holler at your boy. No. But on a serious note, though, just playing basketball my whole life, played school ball, played for the Kansas City Keys, which is like a local Kansas City team. We're dedicated in the Kansas City area. Played my summer ball with them, and yeah, that's me. My daughter is fifth grade. She started playing, I want to say third grade, second grade. Seriously, she played like bitty ball and stuff before that, but she's on the team, and that's kind of how I found myself coaching the team. I saw Coach L at Walmart, and I think Rain came from a game or something. He's like, she played basketball, and I was like, yeah. He's like, bring her out, and the rest is history.
Well, shoot, I'll go ahead and jump in now. I'm Coach L or Elgin Irvin, where people call me L for short. I've been around the game for a little while. Obviously, I played a lot of ball growing up. Played high level AAU ball, a little bit of junior college basketball. Unfortunately, I had a kid early, so I stopped. I had started get to work and stuff, take care of these little ones. But through them, I was reintroduced to the love of the game, just by coaching. And so, for the last almost it's about 15 years now, almost I've been coaching around. I got to see my youngest sister, who went to college for track, but she was a high level ball player as well. And then I also am now currently coaching our daughters. So my daughter Nadia, says daughter Rain, Rod, Reese, and Raylan. Like it's a fun atmosphere. I've been around it for a long time, so I've got to see the cycle for the first time through. So this time around, I'm hoping to really just embellish on what I learned through that first process and really add to, the opportunities that our girls have, man. The landscape's wide open for girls basketball, especially right now because, it's at the highlight. It's kind of at that mecca right now where we can change and we can turn the corner and these girls can really start making something for themselves. So I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Absolutely. What about you, Rod?
Yeah, I'm Roger Pearson, go by Coach P, Coach Pearson. I've been around the game for a while. Started with the Sonics and then went to the Pump and Run, which is now they would Under Armour, but was on the shoe circuit real young, on the Adidas side. Played college ball, but after that, unfortunately, I had injuries and had kids, so kind of had to hang that up. But yeah, I've been around the game for a while. I've been coaching now since started coaching in like 2013, 14. Coached the high school level, boys in 2014, and then picked it back up once my daughter started playing ball. So picked it back up around like 5 when they was 5 years old. So probably been coaching about 10 plus years now. Girls basketball is exciting, man. Like I feel like that's what made me. I saw my daughter. That's what made me get back into it. Just seeing how open it is as far as connected with these kids, because just women's basketball now is more prominent than it used to be when we was playing. So not only is it opportunities for the girls, I mean, it's also opportunities for the parents and the coaches and everybody else that's also involved. But yeah, I've been around for a little minute, man.
Cool, cool. You actually touched on a couple of the next points. How did we get into women's basketball? All of us, we said we came from basketball background, been playing basketball our whole life. But how did we get into girls basketball? I think we all kind of touched on it, but solely because of my daughter, honestly. Rain when
Yeah,
she got 5.
for me, it was just my daughter. Before I started with the girls, I was coaching boys anyway. But outside of the reasons I had, daughters, in my opinion, I just think girls pay attention to detail maybe a little bit more than boys. Not to say it's a bad thing, but I think girls are more coachable and you have true patience. So for me, it taught me my patience as a coach. As with boys, I feel like it was a little more energy was the same, but boys are more athletic, so they can get away with a lot more things girls can, as to where girls things got to be broken down, step by step, because they real analytical thinkers. You know what I'm saying? So it taught me about myself as well. But that's how I got into it, with just my daughters, to be for real.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's funny because I didn't even have kids, or at least a daughter playing when I first got into it, man. My younger sister was playing basketball early on. She started roughly about second, third grade, and my pops and my dad, or sorry, my pops and my brother ended up getting into coaching. They was like, hey man, you might as well come join us, because they was kind of a family oriented thing or whatever. And at the time, man, I didn't know anything, honestly. Like when I mean, I knew the game, but I didn't really know coaching like that. I thought it was, one size fits all type of thing where, you kind of run the same scheme stuff that I learned in high school and in college. And come to find out real fast, it's not a one size fits all type of thing. Like you really got to know your stuff. You really got to understand these players and how they move. And to go back to that point with it being girls basketball specifically, I haven't had any chance or experience coaching boys, but I will agree with Rod. Like girls definitely listen to a fault, almost to the point where they're gonna do exactly what you say with no variation from that, and so really you really got to teach the game to the women, like, and understanding how to play the game within the game. Like, yeah, you run your X's and O's, but you still got to go out and make a play at the same time. And so kind of delivering that from our experiences growing up, just going outside and playing ball, on the playground or in the backyard or in the driveway or something like that, and just really trying to feed that love of the game into them.
For sure, for sure. Um, so we're over the Grassroots program for Della Lamb, which is on the Adidas circuit, like Rod talked about earlier, being on the shoe circuit. Um, what's the significance of being on a shoe circuit as far as exposure goes? Whoever want to take it.
I mean, as far as, because Ryan played on it, but I've only been around it in the sense of coaching. Like, I mean, I played on the circuit a little bit, but I didn't actually, I hate to say this, but I didn't actually play. I was on the team, but but that's neither here nor there. I got to see it, but being in the coaching is different because that shoe circuit is going to put you at the highest level exposure immediately. Obviously there's many ways, many different ways of getting exposure through basketball. Coaches are going to find good players all the time, like that. No matter what it is, if you're a baller, they're going to find you. But if you're looking for that immediate exposure and your kids ready, your athletes ready right now, being on the shoe circuit is going to get you that maximum level of exposure because the most coaches are going to those events. So yeah.
Absolutely. Rod.
For me, and that's a point, so I'm just gonna say another point. When we were on the circuit, like you gonna play against the top people. Like for me, like the exposure come with playing against, what I'm saying, the best of the best. So once, if you, in a whole summer, if you're playing the top players month after month after month after month, seeing top competition, not only is that gonna elevate your game, but it's gonna elevate your game. So when you go home and you playing high school and you playing people from your city, you already gonna be,
It's gonna be nothing.
what I'm saying, it's gonna be nothing because you playing against these guys maybe twice a month, depending on what circuit you on. So I mean, I was on the Adidas circuit, so I saw like the Lopez twins. I saw them multiple times a year. I saw
Brooke and Robin.
Greg Oden,
yeah,
OJ
well, yeah, I
Mayo,
saw the
all them.
Spieth.
Yep.
I saw
Yep.
Spieth multiple times a year.
Mm-hmm.
St. Louis Eagles, even though those guys were like Nike, like some of them events, you know what I'm saying?
They
We
overlap.
still kind of intertwined because it wasn't what it was today. Like you just had like Adidas was Super 64, like that's what it was, and Super 64 was pretty much Adidas. You know that you had maybe had a Nike team in there, but those were straight Adidas. So like now, you know anybody can kind of go to any prominent event as to where like when we was kind of playing, like if it was a Nike event or Adidas event, like them was the teams that you saw, you know,
Right.
everybody who was underneath that, you know, that umbrella. I mean, Pondexter, he played with the Lopez twins, who went to Washington, ended up going to the league. Sharon Collins, Illinois Warriors, they were Adidas. Derrick Rose, Mean Streets, they were Adidas. So like we was playing top guys. So I mean, even
That's
like when
nice.
you taking that from the summer, and when you bringing that home, and like they say, it is levels to it. Even like when you young, like you can tell, like this dude, like we all knew, like Mike Conley, for example, like we knew Mike Conley was going to the league. Like there was no ifs ands or buts about it. Like you knew, and this was in
It is.
fifth grade. Like fifth grade, like his game was just that much. Like I never seen nobody that young with that much patience. You know what I'm saying? Like we were so used to doing this. You know how Kansas City style basketball is more like up and down, getting up and down.
They got
He
right.
had so much patience, and we knew this like in fifth grade. So you know them ones, like you know what I'm saying. So um, like outside exposure, like bringing that level of play back to wherever you from, it should automatically, like you should be elevated. Like if you putting in work and then you going out here playing the top talent. And if you holding your own, nobody's gonna be able to hold you. And I feel like that was a big thing for me. Like when I came back every summer, like I'm playing against the top guys in the nation. So like every time I'm coming back and people see me, it's like you raising the bar. Yeah, cause shit, I'm playing against people that already the bar that I gotta try to get up to.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
But funny story though, like I've been kind of a roundabout way knowing Rod through basketball. You know, it's a small world because I used to play for a team. Well, I played for a team pretty much my whole AAU career. It was called KC Nets, and we were a dominant team in the Kansas City area. So it was, it was the Keys, it was the Supersonics, it was the Nets. There's like the Blue Streak. Blue Streak was another team that was a good team around at that time, and like they had several players around from them teams alone that just, they went Division I college ball. But it was funny because, Raylan acts just like how Rod used to act. Well, he just be mean, bro. Just look at me. Every time you see this dude play,
Man,
he just look mad. Just mad for no reason, bro. And he be hooping, bro. But he be mad, bro. And I'd be like, man, like you gotta chill. Him and Mike, Brandon Coleman.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Y'all used to be angry when they played, boy.
Hey,
But
Yeah.
it be
it's
like that.
funny. It's a small world though, because I mean, actually was when me and Rod connected to bring our groups together, man. It took me a while to put them two together because Rod had short hair back in the day, like he had fade and no
Yeah, I
dreads
had
or
all
nothing.
this going
Yeah, nah,
on.
he had none of that, man. So it was two different dudes. So I thought that was funny, man. Small little tidbit, man.
No, that's cool. And then just the Easter egg, Raylan is Rod's daughter. One of his daughters are main guard, and she play angry. She play mad. Don't make her angry because she coming with a head full of steam.
Yeah.
That takes me to another point. Our program, and I could be speaking out of pocket here. I think we are one of the best developmental programs in the city, right? As far as getting girls, and I think it's because we work with such a wide group. Like, so our grassroots program is like, shit, what, second grade? Is that we got Stella and
we
them?
got
Was how old was they when you got with them, right? Stella and
Well,
Olivia.
I had Stella and Olivia when they was, cause Stella's is a year younger than our girl. So Stella's the fourth grader, and no,
Or
Olivia's the
she
fourth grader. Stella's the third grader.
or Stella would have been the second grader.
So I had them when they was in like second grade. Like I
Yeah.
started with them when they was like second grade.
So we be working with girls from like second grade up to eighth grade. Like that's our grassroots window. And I think because we work with all them different levels or skill sets, we are able to focus in on different areas and get girls up to speed with our other girls, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm wording that poorly, but I think that we're one of the best developmental groups in the city. And why do you think that's it? Why do you think that is?
I mean, the good thing is like for me, I think we do a great job of bouncing a lot of ideas off each other. You know, nobody knows all of it, right? Especially me, I'm one of those ones. If I feel like I'm the smartest person in the room, then what am I doing in the room? You know what I mean? And I don't feel like that with our coaching group. I feel like we got a lot of great minds in there. Between the three of us, and then Rashiki, who's not on this call, but I think because we are passionate about the game and we want to see these kids develop, and it's kind of that no man left behind mentality. Like we gonna make sure we don't spend the time in the gym. And that's the other thing too, we spend a lot of time in the gym, like, and this past summer,
Every week.
I think we were in the gym 4 or 5 times a week this past summer. And then Rod, he's in there probably what,
Shit, more
six
than
to
that.
7 days a week, and so
Yeah, you don't. Yeah,
it's
it's
so
because of the high school ball and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah. So with us, kind of living in the gym, and in our, inadvertently, all of our kids get to live in the gym too, because we're in there. I just think it brings us, that amount of understanding what the kids need specifically to each kid, but then we get to cultivate our teaching mechanisms, whatever that may be. We get to cultivate it and really iron it down so we can help the future groups, whatever groups next, be better than the last group. So
Beautiful. Right.
Um, for me, like I said, that's a point. And for me, a lot of it's like experience and seeing like how it was done when we was growing up, as to where catering to like what it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like people want their kids to be so good, like right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like it's a longer process now because these kids don't play, like they don't play enough. You know what I'm saying? Like we, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, the training thing wasn't around when we was growing up. Like that wasn't a thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was going to play basketball. Like that's how you learned. So I feel like the IQ, now this is my opinion, like I just feel like the IQ maybe back then was just a little bit a little bit more superior than it is now because kids not playing a lot. So you can't put things in front of them, you know what I'm saying, live or without doing cones and stuff like that because see, we weren't doing no cones. Like we had to learn the two dribble pull up really with somebody in your face, like playing. Like you
Right.
had to learn that.
mhm.
So um,
I hear
I,
that.
I,
But
I,
listen, I'm gonna challenge you on that real quick because I think it's the actual opposite. I think that IQ nowadays is a little bit better because they in the fucking gym all the time, because they going at the cones, because we can stop, pause, break it down. What do you think?
I don't know, man.
I'm like
Well,
I'm like I'm 50-50 on
it's
it.
just
You know what I'm
it.
saying?
Yeah, yeah. I
Because
agree.
like back then, like, and I'm just saying like our era, like a fast break, me learning on a fast break was nothing because that's how we was playing. We was playing getting up and down the floor. So
Right.
like I knew like shit, if somebody come and step up, I knew to make the pass because I'm doing that all the time outside playing full court basketball all the time. Now, it being broken down, that wasn't there.
Right.
So your many options on, yeah, okay, maybe you could do this out the transition or secondary transition. Like secondary transition was taught to me like when I was in high school.
I was about to say high school.
Like that's when the stuff started really getting broken down to me. When I was in high school, like middle school, it wasn't broken down because back when we was playing like middle school ball, you literally playing for your science teacher or literally playing
Literally
for
my
your,
science teacher.
you know what I'm saying. So like middle school ball back then was a little watered down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like it kind of is now. So I guess like that aspect wouldn't change, but um the development side, I feel like, yeah, it is better now because, like I said, kids, they're breaking it down and there's so many different aspects to the game now than it was back when we was playing. So, I mean, I'm kind of 50-50 on the IQ, so I could kind of like back that statement in a sense, like
Yeah,
backtrack on that
okay.
statement. But I think it's 50-50 on the IQ. I just think the game is just different now. You know what I'm saying? So the IQ is different. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So, but
I feel like the way
skillful.
we learned the game was way more organic though. And there was a natural process of selection on what you could do well. You know, I mean, we had and one for dang sake. Like, like we out there trying the stuff, you know what I'm saying? We going out in the yard and, in the street or, we trying to do these moves and all that stuff, man. And to Rod's point, man, playing the game for me with the freedom that we had, there was no coaching. It was us just being creative, right?
Yep.
That there's something to say about that creative mindset, man, where you just going out and trying stuff. And if it work, oh, great, great. But if it don't work, all right, I'm gonna try it again or figure out how to do this and get this move off. And I don't think our kids get enough of figuring that out. Like now I will say to counter to your point said, there is a lot of coaches like us. And I'm gonna say a lot, but the ones that do have coaches like us that really break the game down, they're probably smarter in the sense they probably can answer every question that I probably couldn't have answered when I was in fifth grade. I can
Oh,
tell you that right
100%.
now.
The stuff
You
we
know,
make our girls do at fifth grade,
oh
I
yeah,
wouldn't.
oh yeah,
Absolutely not.
yeah, never, never. But I will say from a creative stuff, from a creative standpoint, I feel like we would have been an edge slightly better because we had the freedom. We had the freedom to create and actually play ball.
We had imagination. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, yeah, you had imagination. Now, if you put that on top of skill, like these kids are probably more skillful than we was for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
way more skillful. Like we
Without a
could
Oh
get
doubt.
yeah.
away with a lot of stuff because we was out there trying it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for us, a lot of stuff came organic, like you said, as to where kids now, back then outside NBA players, like I don't think guys even in college back then were taught like angles, like off a
Hmm.
step back, like your side,
Nope.
your diagonal angle, your down, like the angles wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like people weren't showing you the different angles that you could get a shot off. It was just, create space and get a shot. As to where now you could break it down. If you break it down to a kid, yeah, do step 1, 2, 3. Then I got a step 3A, 3B,
And 3C.
like,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? But like I said, I just think that like you said, the game back then was just more organic, just the way like people played. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell like it was a freedom. Like if you look at like Allen Iverson, if you look at
Oh, yeah.
guys like that one taught, like that was
We
him just
couldn't.
probably playing in the hood every day and just creating the style to it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I just feel like no, we were more creative and more organic. You know what I'm saying? Like saying that's what I meant by like the organic type of IQ. You know what I'm
For
saying? Like it was
sure.
a lot of stuff that back then coaches didn't really have to break down because kids were like you could go to a gym back when we was playing, especially here in Kansas City. Like you could go to the Boys and Girls Club or to Brush Creek and you could find somebody that could play basketball like that. Like I could
For
fine
real.
tune everything else. But
Right.
this kid could play basketball because he know how to get up and down. He know like the basics and stuff. Now you just fine tuning some stuff. That's where
Yeah.
now you can't go nowhere and find a kid. Like you got to even test to see if they got the fundamentals. Like
Hmm.
We got a couple.
fundamentals wasn't broken down to like how it is now. Like
Yeah. What you
We
think,
well,
said? What was your thought?
I think to that point though, we got a couple basketball players like ballers, like they could just go to the gym and ball on our fifth grade team, but they so rough around the edges. You know what I mean? And trying to polish them up like that's where the work is, at least in my opinion. But
Hmm.
that takes me to my next point, and we both all y'all kind of alluded to it, is like the reason the game is the way it is now is because this shit is a business, bro. Like it's youth sports, not just NBA. It used to be we trying to get to the NBA. Now youth sports, it's so much paper in youth sports right now to where I mean, just in like being a trainer, you know what I mean? Like we got some local trainers who like cleaning up just on skill work, right? Like and not even getting into tournaments and stuff like that. Like it's a business now. So people are like they trying to show a return on the investment. If I tell you I can get your kid from here to here, they gonna put them through the gambit. Like and is is winning important right now? This nigga phone died. is is winning important right now though? Like
nah, it's not. It's really not. And the thing is, it didn't take me until I started coaching my kids to realize that. You know what I'm saying? Like the winning don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Like it matters it matters to an extent now. Like as far as building kids' confidence and stuff like that, yeah, you want to win. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for
Like,
sure, for sure.
of course you want to win, but in the long run, like winning ain't that's not what we here for. We are here to win, but we here to develop. And then when it's time for you to get to that stage, us as coaches is able to let y'all go out there and look at the work that we done put in with y'all and the work that you done put in and go out there and display a show. You know what I'm saying? So like right now, none of this stuff works. As long as you see the last time you stepped on the court to the present time you stepped on the court, can you say you got better? Yeah.
I
You know,
think, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I think obviously I agree with you that winning is not important right now. But the parents, I think, don't understand that. I think that's the biggest opportunity, right? Like parents want to win now, and then they get frustrated when they ain't winning now, or they get frustrated when we been dominating everybody, and now we want to play up and we get slapped. You know what I mean? Like I think most of the people who want to win right now, I think any real coach who's trying to develop and trying to grow girls, and that's not every coach. I want to point that out, but I think the ones that are, they know you're gonna take some lumps. You really shouldn't even be. And you put me up on this philosophy as far as last year we played a bunch of games, and this year we're trying to be more intentional with our games, the games that we play.
I didn't blur your background.
What we talking about, Elgin, right as you left was is winning important right now, and Rod and I both agree that right
No,
now it's not. Yeah,
no,
Now
no.
I can say winning is important for the. So now if you got like 5 stars, 4 stars, maybe some threes, winning don't matter. No matter like it. If you a 4 or 5 star, yeah, you win. You gonna win because you probably got the top kids on your team. But even for them, winning ain't important. The winning part's important for the girls or the teams that may not have those 5 stars, those 4 stars to get that exposure, to get that recognition. So like if you
Hmm.
got a team that that's a good team. I'm not gonna name any names or nothing like that, but let's just say it's just a good team that's going to one of these shoe circuits. And as they're winning, they get in notice, but nobody expected this team to win as to where the 5 star Ashley Smith, whoever she is, she gonna get the looks whether that team win or not. She gonna
right.
get
Yep.
the looks. Like it don't matter. So like when it only matters, I feel like it's only matters to certain groups. You know what I'm saying? Because that winning is gonna bring exposure to that program or to them players. Like, hey, they got some players too. That's where that 5 star. It don't matter if that 5 star win the Adidas Super 64. Like that don't matter. Because we done seen teams that didn't have those players that won, and even them teams that won, them players wasn't going to 5 stars, to top schools. They weren't going to big programs. They may have won the circuit, they may have won the tournament, but are those players on that team, are they Power 5 school ready? Some of them don't be. They just play good as a unit.
Right.
So for
Yep.
them, that exposure helps them out. Them that winning just adds to their resume, and it's gonna take heed to okay, like who this team that won? Because more than likely the coach is gonna come to the championship anyway.
Yep.
Right.
But them 5 stars, they gonna come see them a couple times, 2, 3 times. All right, we already know what we want. Then they fine. It don't matter if they win another game the whole summer.
Yep. Yep.
So when do it matter though? Like using us for example, it don't ever matter.
I
'Cause
mean,
one
at
thing
the
I
at
was
the youth
sorry, go
at the
ahead.
youth level, yeah, it don't matter. And I mean, and yes, it matters to an extent. Like, yeah, you want to win because you want the positive morale. You want to be able to build off of what your successes are. So if you're looking at it in that aspect, okay, great. But it means nothing for development. Winning means nothing for development. Like you can play a team 5 times in a row, right? And yeah, you might lose every single time, but each game you play them, you improved or you decreased that margin by 2 points or 5 points or 3 points or whatever the case is. And that shows growth, right? To the point where, you know, people are looking at that other team, whoever they may be, and they're looking like, man, that team ain't getting no better because I see this team over here, they're catching up, right? And so that's where it's important for the youth level. Now, I will say winning does mean something when it comes to like a parental and perception standpoint, right? So like a lot of parents don't understand how we understand the game, right? Like they think winning right now means you got a good team, right? Or you got good coaches, right? And that's not necessarily the case, right? You might be losing games, but you got the best coach that is there for your kid in the best situation possible for your kid to get your kid to the next level. And so, like, yeah, winning, yeah, it feels good and it's nice and everything, but it means nothing for the youth level. I think it's just more or less is that kid developing.
I agree. And you touched on something very important in there, and I was gonna kind of segue into this when you had to step out, was parents. It matters to the parents, right? Um and y'all both have 10 plus years of coaching history. I'm fairly new to this. I want to say about 3 years in, and the biggest challenge for me as a new, like a novice coach, is the parents. Like the girls, and the girls that I have problems with, it's probably because of the parents a little bit, and not that I have problems with any girls, right? But the girls who are like attitude or opportunity girls, it's normally because of the parents. You know what I mean? Like, and we got a lot of parents that know the game, know what they're talking about. For example, us three, we are parents. All of our daughters are on the team. How do you manage them parents that, them sideline coaches? Trying to think of the nicest way to say it.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this statement and it's no shot at us and what we do, right? Coaches, and I mean, and I say this with a grain of salt too. Coaches don't necessarily make Division 1 athletes. Division 1 minded parents do.
Mm,
So no matter what we do as coaches, that parent that understands the game, that knows how to get their players there, that has a level set mind when it comes to how their child or they're approaching the game with their athlete or their child, is what takes that kid to the next level. Because you can have the most talented kid in the world, right? And this parent could unknowingly sabotage this kid's career or their potential. You know what I mean? Unknowingly, you got that parent that's loud in the stands that want to holler every single play something go wrong, and they end up saying that parent's going to lose that kid a scholarship or lose that kid an opportunity. You might have that parent that thinks they know more than the coach, right? And yeah, they might know more than the coach, but what are you teaching your kid? Are you teaching your kid not to value the coach's word and the coach's instruction, right? So, you know, all the Division 1 athletes that I've seen that have come across, my threshold, they've all had that similar parent where the parent knew they had to be in the gym. The parent knew that they had to put the extra work. The parent knew that they had to sit back and support the coach, rather they agreed with it or not. They had to make sure that they put these kids in the right situations. And yes, the coaches do matter. I want to preface that. Like the coaches really do matter. But the parent matters even more because that's what's going to kick that kid to the next level.
right. What do you think, Rob?
Um, I think it's like parent and coach. You know what I'm saying? To me, I'm a situational person. You know what I'm saying? Like every kid situation is different, whether it be parent or whether it be coach. You know what I'm saying? Like even like communities. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like out here in South KC, like it was a coach. I ain't gonna say his name, but he was hella passionate. You could hear him screaming from the other gym. You know what I'm saying? But people knew like that's how he pushed some kids. And of course, you're gonna have some people that think it's a certain way of coaching,
Right.
but people are very contradicting when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can sit up here and watch your favorite coach. And I know, like I said, I'm talking about college coaches. And there's some college coaches that disrespectful.
Hmm.
Say some off the wall stuff to you. But because
Hmm.
he's a college coach, he can get away with it. Nah, a coach is a coach. Whether you coaching young men, young women, or kids, or preteens or teenagers. Like
Damn.
so kids, players adapt to intake information differently. Yeah, from a kid's a standpoint, preteen, teen, adult, college, whatever. Um, I think it's kind of a 50-50 thing because like I said, there's some coaches out there that can get that kid that next step and he know what he talking about. As to where some coaches that are good at just coaching, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what they're good at.
For sure.
But I think it's very situational. You know what I'm saying? Like we done seen the teams out of town. Like we done seen some coaches that, you done seen some coaches that, all right, like they know their stuff, but they either on one side of the spectrum. Like I'm a 50-50 guy because, like I said, it's all in that situation. Now, if you get kids that like some of these teams we know, they getting kids from all over touching states that's not even touching. Yeah, that coach don't have to do nothing.
Nah.
Like Steve
That
Kerr.
coach don't have to do nothing, and he gonna look at as what a good coach, or is he a good coach, or is he a good manager, or is he a good? He know how to assemble. Like just
Right.
because you know how to assemble some stuff, don't mean you know how to coach. But anybody can assemble some. If I can get the best player from one or two players from 4 or 5 states, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I don't think a lot of these teams are breeding homebred kids. You know what I'm saying? Now with
Nah.
some, but all our kids are from our area. Like we don't have no kid outside our area. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? Just one, but she's an hour and a half away. That's not
That's
us going
still
to Arkansas or
Missouri
going
though.
to it's still Missouri. Like we're not going to Texas. We're not going to Oklahoma. We're not going to all these places snatching kids. Like we snap and that's why I feel like, and I don't know if that's off subject or not, but like that's where I feel like the authenticity is gone at. Like taking your kids from where your area is at. Like that's why people have so much pride on where they from, because this is where I'm from. Like this is where this team is from. Like that's why we was getting so much attention when we was at AAU last year. Like they never saw us on the circuit. That was a big thing. Like where y'all from? And B, they was expecting us to be like, oh well, my kid, like we from here, that kid from here. Like I had told one parent, like, yeah, we from Kansas City. He looked at me as if he wanted me to keep going, like Kansas City here. Like, no, all these kids from Kansas City, we ain't got nobody from nowhere else. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
oh, okay, like I see what y'all doing. Yeah.
And it's
You know what
also
I'm saying?
styles
Like,
too though. Like when certain areas breed certain styles. So when
yeah,
you start bringing people from different areas, I mean, it can work. It seems like it do work, but it ain't gonna always work. And then you don't have an identity neither. You know what I mean? Like, but as far as
Yeah.
the parents go, I think that both of y'all had really great points. Like, I obviously believe in the coaching. I had a lot of influential coaches in my life that was like, parents being raised in the inner city, and I spent most of my time with these coaches than I did at home and type shit like that. But also you have those parents that like for example, we big on development, and we don't we in the gym, we'll say 5 days a week. We'll say we in the gym 5 days a week, right? 2 hours each session. You know what I mean? Um, if your kid is with us and that's the only time that they in the gym or that's the only time that they touching the basketball, that's not enough. And a lot of the time that's parenting. That's what I mean, like by the parents, like of course, L, to your point, those parents who got the resources and gonna put you in situations to succeed. But then there's those parents who like we babysitting their kids. You know what I mean? They drop their kids
Mhm.
off at the gym with a bunch of other kids. You know what I'm talking about? And
Yeah.
like that's leads me to my next point. Like it's levels to this, right? Like we play competitive basketball. We're on a competitive team. We're on the circuit, right? Like there's levels to it. Like there's rec ball, right? And then there's like competitive teams that compete regionally, and then they're like travel teams, right? Like it's levels to it. We are a competitive travel team. Like we go on the road in a week, next
Yep.
week. We
Next
we
week.
on the road for Adidas, right? Like I don't think that parents understand, certain parents, I don't think they understand that there's levels to it, right? Like they think because they pay their money or because they show up all the time that their kid is guaranteed a spot or their kid is supposed to play. And I don't think that it's like that at the level of basketball that we are trying to compete at. How do y'all feel about that?
Um, I mean, and I think this is where the three of us kind of not necessarily bump heads, but we agree to disagree sometimes because I like I'm huge on development. Like I'm huge on development. But I also I also coach in a way where I'm going to I'm going to play the kid that's going to give us the best chance and the best opportunity to win the game. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to play the kid that's not quite there yet. We're going to get those kids in the game. But for me, like, I'm not just going to throw a kid out there just for the sake of throwing them out there. Like, that's what you do in the first half of the game. But as the game starts getting tight, and you start having to, figure out how to win and teach these kids to understand how to think the game, some opportunities aren't for every kid, and we all know this, right? Like, like it's everything's situational. I think Ryan hit that on earlier that, you know, yes, you want every kid to play. And if your kid comes to my program and they're not playing, I'll be transparent with you. Like that's a problem. You probably should be looking because like, hey, like why is my kid not playing? Is it do I need more development or is this team the right team for them? Because you, as a parent, you have to recognize that, right? But it's not a shot to what we're doing and the decisions that we're making because again, yes, winning doesn't matter, but yes, we still are trying to win the game. Like that's important, trying to come together and rally these kids to fight through adversity and all that stuff and putting these kids in the right position. That's what's important to me. But sometimes we lean into, it, especially if the game doesn't mean nothing, right? Let's say we're not on the road, we're not at 3SSB. Maybe we're here playing locally. Yeah, that game doesn't matter. It don't matter if you put that kid in. Yeah, it is what it is. Let's get him the clock in or whatever. But when games matter, when we're on the road and we're doing certain things, like there's a certain standard which I think kind of transcends what we even do as youth coaches. Like it goes to high school and middle school and college, right? They're going to play the games they're going to play the players that are going to give you the best opportunity to succeed or to win. And so that's kind of my philosophy. But again, like I said, I know that's kind of where we kind of, you know, put our best heads together and figure out, how to get through those scenarios. So,
And I think we navigated well, for the
oh,
most.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
But I do think that is an opportunity where we all um could be more aligned. Because me, once again, being new to it and working with the rotations, I'd be a lie if I said I didn't look down at the bench and look at the clock and then look down at the bench and feel a certain type of way because a girl had been sitting there and she
Oh
ain't been
yeah.
no time. Like and I'm trying to get out of my way of doing that, but I'd
Hmm.
be a lie if I said I didn't do that. Like and she could have just made 3 mistakes. You know what I mean? 3 turnovers. And I'm still be like, look at her, look at the clock. Look at her, look at the clock, and I'm gonna tap Ryan like
Hmm.
we probably need to get her back in there. We need to try to get her in there, right? So I take a lot of ownership of that. But and like I said, that's just me being an emotional ass nigga and in my feelings and shit. I'm still working on myself and working on understanding that these girls gotta earn the right. But I kind of jumped in, Rod. I think you was about to say something.
No, y'all good. Yeah, like the people just it's a lot to this topic just because like you got pros even saying like AAU like it's a money grab, this, that, and this, and
Yeah,
what's important and what's not important. I just feel like it all different. It's different coming from from y'all. It may not matter because y'all in the NBA, so
right,
you can give your kid whatever type of exposure or whatever to train with who. Like so for you it's not important because all you can do just like the whole thing with LeBron and Bronny. All the thing y'all got to do is probably make a call.
Right.
Not to say your kid not working harder than nobody else, but your kid got resources and access to stuff that a regular kid or parents like us don't have. Like,
Right.
yeah, we still gotta grind it out in the gym just like y'all, but shit, he learning from you every day. He learning from you every day. Off rip, he learning from you, whether it's this NBA kid or this NBA kid, like it don't matter. But um some kids just aren't ready for that super competitive level. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there ain't nothing wrong with that if that kid is still developing. Because eventually, if the kid is developing,
No, go
and
ahead.
like I said, not everybody get the same opportunities as everybody, but it all depends on what that kid's vision and the parents' vision of your kid on where you honestly think your kid gonna be.
right,
Now, me, like if I was real critical on one of my kids at one point in time, like it's gonna be a while for her to get to this spot. It's gonna be a while for her to get here. And I was honest with that. But me being honest with her, it ain't do nothing but make her work even harder
Hmm.
right.
because she knew where she
Yep.
was at. Your
But
kid should know where she at based on the
you
facial
hit it right on the
expressions that
point.
they giving, bro.
You
Like your kid know
understood.
where they at.
You understood that though. Like a lot of parents don't understand that. I mean, we had a situation recently, real recent, where parents just don't understand, like fighting
And
through adversity, man. It's and all of
accountability.
our kids, yeah, all of our kids are gonna go through it, man. It's a long grind to get these kids where they need to be. They're gonna have their ups, you're gonna have the peaks, and they're gonna have their valleys, man. And the best thing you can do as a parent, and what you did, Rod, and which all I feel like all of us have done, is ride with those kids through the valleys, and really try to get them to understand, like, if you really want this, you gotta work for it, you know. So no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that was a good point, man.
Nah, you
Yeah,
good. And like I said, and it's just the game has evolved, and I feel like people have not accepted that. Like
yeah,
the game is where it's at now, and we all trying to figure this stuff out because it's new to a lot of us.
Yeah.
Majority, probably more than 50% of the people that's involved in it is new. You know what I'm saying? So we all trying to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? And it's all opinion based. You know what I'm saying? For what's good for one kid ain't gonna be good for what's the next kid. Like
Right.
it's probably a kid right now who probably not doing no type of competitive summer ball, bro. But it's probably in the gym like mug training, and that kid probably gonna have more skills than the kid that's been playing the whole time. And that may be good for that kid to where he may be on the stage to where he may be able to showcase that. And
Uh,
and it may work out for that person.
yeah,
Because I'm
yeah,
pretty sure at all the schools it is. How many D1 schools is it? 400 and something, I don't know, few hundred.
yeah.
That's 15 spots on the kids. So we looking at chop that. Um, you looking at 500 or so kids, probably 1,000, no, probably more than that, probably 1,000 or some Division I basketball players.
365 D1 teams. And was it like 12 persons on the team?
15,
15
15.
on the team?
15.
We get to the bottom of it.
365 Division I schools.
Yeah.
How'd you
That's
find that out? You Googled it real
I
fast?
googled it, yeah. And that's
What do
about
you,
5,400 kids out
yeah.
of the millions that's playing at AU summer,
And
like
just think with the landscape of women's basketball, I know more girls are playing basketball than ever these days now, but you got to think we're still not even getting half of the amount of girls playing basketball as there are men and boys playing basketball,
mhm.
So their opportunities for scholarships are way more vast than what we have, like and that helps. That means something, and that's why I feel like we're at a pivotal point right now where the talent level's getting better. The girls' exposure to basketball, the notoriety of the game for even some of the top level athletes in WNBA and college right now. Like it's starting to turn that corner, and that gap is going to start shrinking because more and more girls and more women are going to start playing basketball. But we're ahead of the curve right now. We're ahead of the curve when you look at the landscape of where we're at right now. Yeah. To your point,
I, I
54,000
think that
scholarships. Yeah.
gap though, I think it's gonna be a slow drip on the amount of kids that's playing, like as far as that window, just because now you got like 3-on-3 now. Like you ain't even got to like now you don't even have to necessarily make the WNBA or whatever. Now they got professional. They better start doing the professional 3-on-3. Like it's about to be so much.
They get paid more than the WNBA.
You know what I'm
That
saying? Like
unrivaled, that
it's
unrivaled.
way
Yep.
more things
Yeah.
that's opening up, and we just at the beginning of it. So I think that's where like a lot of it's becoming more opinion based, just because it's new. It's new to everybody, even the men's side. Like things are opening up
Yeah.
to where like there's
NIL.
not one good route. I mean, I'm not gonna say good route. There's many good routes to go to. It all just depends on your situation. I feel like if people looked at it situationally and looked like one thing may work for one kid, that it's not gonna work for the next. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you could even see that with the professional kids, with the NBA players' kids. Like, Bronny path is different than the path that Gilbert Arenas' son or Carlos Boozer's son or
Melo,
all
son.
these NBA kids,
Yeah.
like all
Hmm.
all these Melo son,
The
like all these
whole
kids are
group of
going through a different route. Are
Yeah.
they
them.
all going through a different route? So, um, And I know that could be a topic for another day.
I was about to
Just the
say
money
we
and
got a couple episodes worth of material out here because I was about to say NIL, but I was like, that's probably a whole episode by itself. And then like, okay,
that's what I'm trying to tap into.
hey,
Yeah.
keep me in the loop. But I want to talk about this. This will be our last topic because we approaching an hour. Damn, that time flew. And Rod, you both of y'all kind of touched on it, but Rod, you talked about how AAU is getting like a bad rap lately from the bigger from a lot of NBA players who have options to go different routes. And I think like we in a unique situation because we like with our relationship with AAU, like we like I don't know, like what's that? We a Adidas team, but we also have an interesting partnership with AAU as well. So like how do y'all feel we did it last year. How do y'all feel the landscape or the future of AAU? What does that look like from y'all opinion?
For me, so somebody who played originally AAU. So and this is where people get it messed up at. You know what I'm saying? Like
AAU
they
separate.
call AAU
The AAU separate.
like all this. Like I come from the brand of actually playing AAU basketball. Like AAU was its own thing. Like that was the only thing that was popping back then. It was AAU. And then if you wasn't doing AAU, people weren't traveling like that. People weren't really people were going places, but it wasn't at the magnitude of where people traveling all over the country. Like it was your main outside of AAU, you may have 1 or 2 tournaments that was big outside the state. Then that was it. Everybody else was playing local. You was playing local, building up to AAU because you playing against. It's like the Olympics of grassroots basketball. Like it's hundreds of teams out there, like hundreds of teams.
Easy.
So like people get that original name AAU and all this other stuff mixed up as to where AAU should be paid a lot of homage because everybody done took the blueprint from what they was doing and now people are doing what they doing now. You know what I'm saying? Like
all these tournaments.
AAU was AAU.
Shoe circuits have took that blueprint. A lot of these newer shoe circuits.
Yeah, they took that blueprint. Then once, the money got involved and everything like that, like AAU kind of tapered off.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's kind of good that it, people started to see that they could do it too because maybe AAU could have been gatekeeping. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a sense, and we were young back then, so I can't sit up here and say, it was this or that. I just being a participant in it, and my kids being in it, it brought back old memories. And I see that they were still trying to do it like how it was back in, but it's so much basketball now, and it ended up spread out to where, AAU ain't the top tournament now. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's good for the kids because they can, showcase on many different, regions of the country. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, like for me, like I want to go touch at least a different region because it's some of them kids that when you get in college, like shit, that scholarship, you may be battling with a kid from the East Coast. They may be trying to get that same scholarship you getting at that same school. It's happened to me. It's happened to me. So it's like, yeah, we so used to Midwest basketball and Southwest basketball, like, we used to them Texas teams and them Oklahoma teams, Missouri teams, Kansas. Like, we don't know. We played Cali once, okay, but like, we don't know what them Southern teams is like because we don't travel to that region and they probably staying in that region. As to where East Coast, like, we only saw the New York Gauchos like on the big stage. On the big stage, because they was on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't get to see the Gauchos like that. And they a prominent name. But now, like, being able to at least touch a region and just to see what that ball is like up there, like, you know what I'm saying? You exposing your kids to a lot of stuff that they need.
Yeah.
Because the older they get, you're going to be playing against these guys from every which way. You know what I'm saying? But I think the shoe circuits are good, man. Like, of course, there's money behind all this stuff. So I feel like the money contradicting aspect can only go so far. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can only go so far because the game has transcended to a point to where, everybody wants to play basketball now. Like, everybody wants to play. So, I mean, I kind of wish AAU was like it used to be. Like, all these, like, Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, Puma. Like, I feel like it should be something that kind of give back to like AAU. You know what I'm saying? Like like actual AAU, because the shoe circuit's gonna get their money off y'all stuff. But like when we was down there, like I felt like this is still a good tournament. But the crazy thing is, it's only up until middle school, because once you get to high school, that's when the big stuff come in, and AAU ain't considered no more.
Nope. Nope. And, I'm just gonna say, because Rod had all good points, but the one he made that was most important is that everybody says AAU ball like it's an all-encompassing thing. No, AAU basketball is a brand that is separate and its own entity. Like you have to go to an AAU tournament to understand the difference. Like,
Right.
we go to Agape, right? We go to Agape here, Premier here, we go to maybe Nationals and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, like maybe Nationals is kind of turning into its own thing. Like, yeah, and it's beautiful to see. But you'll hear parents calling Agape or Premier basketball or any of your local tournaments AAU, and it's not AAU basketball. Like you go to AAU, you gonna get the opening ceremony. You got to go through the registration. They're gonna have
Yes,
the
you
they're
got to
gonna have the
register. You got to
yeah.
pay.
You got to pay. You got to get your AAU card. You got to have your coaches get signed off and get validated. You got to, and then you're going to see all these players who are on that, at least from the grassroots standpoint, you're going to see all these players that are coming there on one accord for the same thing. And it's really one of the only tournaments where you're going to get to see teams from all coasts still come into one umbrella outside
Yeah.
of the shoe circuit, right?
Right.
And that's all you got for the grassroots level. Where the AAU really lost its moxie, and there's two reasons. The time that you're spending down there for AAU, you're spending 4 to 5 days down at AAU, which
It's a
is,
lot.
nowadays it's expensive, and a lot of families don't have that, right? And a lot of programs don't have that type of money, right? And you can go to a 3SSB or a EYBL or a Under Armour and Puma circuit and get a darn good tournament in 2 days, maybe
In a
3 days if you're playing on a
Right.
championship day, right? And why would I go spend all this money to AAU when I'm spending a week and a half over here and I'm getting one, maybe 2 games a day? Where I go to EYBL or 3SSB, I can get 2 to 3 games a day. I'll be done by Sunday, be back home. I get to save a couple of days on hotel, and I got to see what was the best of the best out there. So that's the one aspect of it too. And then the other piece of the reason why AAU is kind of like not as prominent as it was before is to Rod's point, they don't have a high school focused segment. Or, it's once you get to really, honestly, once you get to seventh grade, you're not going back to AAU. You're not, like, and we're looking at it like, for example, for like this coming year, like we're going to pass up AAU to go to another tournament, just because it makes more sense for our schedule. But that's what happens, and so there's so much, value that AAU has that adds to the game of basketball that you just can't replace. Like the experience, you going down there, you getting the coaches, and you're learning stuff, and you're networking with these teams. You've seen these other players from all the other places, but that's the only place you can really get that outside of like a maybe Nationals, which they're just now coming around the corner.
It's
So
still not the same.
mhm.
It's a whole experience, and the girls, and like, you know, yeah, it's just a whole experience, and it really builds. Being there so long is a part of what allows you to build that camaraderie, but it's just not
I
feasible.
think like a lot,
They need to go back to Disney. They need
and
to
I
go back to
think
Disney.
and I think the main thing too, and people probably don't even look at this, like back then it wasn't 30 courts in the convention center. Like it
No.
was never like that.
Nope.
Like we renting out these high schools, and whatever game is playing, that's the game that like
You have to watch.
that's the focal point. So you got
Mhm.
everybody watching.
Mhm.
So that's kind of, you know what I'm saying, cheating the kids in the you know what I'm saying, because of the money. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I need to get as many games I can get in as a day, because I done rented out this convention center for probably 10 bands a day
And I got
or
Mhm.
all these coaches coming.
$5,000 a day,
Mhm.
and all these coaches coming. For me, like I still think that it can still be done in the way of, you know, involving these schools. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you at a convention center, you got 15 courts at the bottom, you go upstairs, you got another 15. That's a lot of games. Like, that's a lot of games, that's a lot of kids in the court, and is that really helping the kids in a sense? That's why I'm like 50-50 on a lot of this stuff. Like it's gonna bring the exposure, but at the same time, like I remember when AAU, even not even gonna say AAU, even on the circuit. Like when we went to Vegas, we was playing in high schools. It may have been 2 gyms in high school, maybe 2, but it was mostly, you know what I'm saying, you playing on that main court.
Yep.
And you had the focal point. So when whoever was playing next, we watching. That's how you able to watch these guys and you able to see them because, hey, we at this gym and you know you're going to get some good competition, whatever gym that you scheduled at. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we at this gym. And that was excitement. All right, we on this side of Vegas. Let's drive to the other side of Vegas. We got a game we played at 1, or we got another game at 4, or we got to drive to the other side of Vegas to this other big high school. And you walk in, you seeing Team Texas, you seeing whoever it is you seeing, like, damn, they playing over here too. And all the focal point was on that game because you ain't got a million games going on at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to watch kids. So that's why I feel like we knew, like, kids know about kids because of social media and shit, stuff like that.
And that's
But, like,
another conversation, social media.
Yeah,
we was
gotta
watching
get in
them.
that one.
Like, we was watching them. So when I'm going to the gym, it's one game, and this one game is being played, and I get to watch whoever it is right here. So, yeah, and that, like I said, that's a whole nother conversation with the money, but
Yeah. I'm gonna do a rapid fire between y'all two, quick questions, and then we can get out of here. And both of y'all kind
You
of
in it too, though, right?
sure, I will. Okay. What's y'all favorite tournament city? Best tournament city for y'all growing up? I think y'all
Vegas.
both might have said it. Yeah,
Vegas.
yeah, I probably
especially as a kid, like that's
Vegas. I would say like Vegas, the team. And in Florida, when like where our girls are now, like grassroots, like 5th, 6th grade was
Yeah. That
was Florida because that's
that
where a lot of stuff.
destination.
Because that's where I think AAU is based
Yeah.
out of Florida
yeah,
now. I think,
The-
it is
but Vegas took it for me though. Vegas took it for
yeah.
me.
same.
I agree. Vegas was probably the bigger one just because there were so many teams that went down. It was the Reebok Classic. That was the one that everybody went to.
Yeah,
And
Reebok Classic.
literally everybody went to. It didn't care if you was a Nike team or Adidas team. Literally everybody was down there. But I had some of my best experiences in the Florida AAU Nationals. Like that was like the best experience. I got to meet Tracy McGrady out there, Doc Rivers, played against Austin Rivers. First time I seen OJ Mayo play, ran up against Kevin Durant. These weren't great times for us. Obviously we were getting our
That
butts
sounds
kicked
like a
out there.
tough weekend, nigga.
But
Yeah,
it was an experience though, bro. It was an experience, man. Like you seeing dudes, like I'm looking at these dudes now, we the same age, I'm seeing them in the league, but I get to say I played against these people, and
for sure.
yeah, it's just a cool experience. But Vegas for me.
Favorite basketball shoe growing up, not now, even though everything's retro. Favorite basketball shoe. For me, I say the Jordan 10s. They was just comfortable. Like as because Jordans ain't comfortable. But them Jordan 10s, they squishy. That was my favorite shoe coming up. And I remember had all the accolades and shit on the bottom. I remember I went to sleep with them shoes when I was a kid. I got them motherfuckers. I slept with them in the bed with me. Nigga, I couldn't wait to play in them bitches. So Jordan 10s for me, the steels, the black and white ones. Black and gray.
Me, I got a tie. I got a tie between.
I knew he couldn't choose.
I got a tie between 3 because I played in 3 of them. So the 10s, you just said the 10s, so that's already been put out there. And that was more like grade school. You know what I'm saying? That was more like where our kids are now.
That's 95, yo.
Yeah. And then my middle school era probably would be more like the Allen Iversons. Like them was my
I had every pair Allen Iverson came out, nigga.
Yeah, had AIs. And then high school for sure, it was the pro models.
The pro
that was
models,
it.
the
Them Adidas
Adidas.
pro. Yeah, them patent leather joints, them pro models. Every AAU team had them. Like the Atlanta Celtics had the gold, like the LeBron was like them gold and green ones.
Yeah.
I think I had like black, red, because back then only shoe that was patent leather that you played in was Jordans. I think Jordan was the only one that really had patent leather for real.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that pro model came out, like that was the only all patent leather shoe, and it still looked good. But the pro models was mine. Like I never hooped in Jordans like that. Like they,
I get that.
Y'all gonna laugh at mine, bro.
I can already feel it because L ain't a shoe nigga like you and me are.
I ain't no shooting it, but I didn't have a lot of shoes growing up either. Too, I be playing in Jordans. Well, that's unheard of. I'm not playing in my Jordans. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna wear them. One time. I'm gonna take them off when I get home from school. But nonetheless, Y'all gonna laugh at this, but man, I loved having some N1s, bro. Bro, like,
But N1s
bro,
had their time. I had a pair of
hey,
N1s
Them
though. I
bro,
had a
Tati,
pair.
the
I had a
half
bro,
and
I'm
pair.
trying
half,
to tell you.
them
Yes,
hoes was
bro.
I
hard.
had a pair.
Man, in middle school and like the early remnants of high school, bro, like I almost had to have N1s, bro.
Them
And
was
they was
hard, bro.
cheap
I
and my
had
parents, yeah,
N1s.
yeah, my parents could afford them. So that was my go-to. So not
But
not on the
they
high level
wasn't
like
cheap
y'all.
like that though. Like N1s wasn't no like they wasn't no bottom of the barrel shoe back
Like
then.
No,
they
no,
are
no,
now.
no.
N1s were
Them was hard. Vince Carter wore them motherfucker. They had Stephon
Yeah,
Marbury and one
Kevin
had,
Garnett. Kevin Garnett
yeah,
was
boy,
sponsored by N1.
bro.
Yeah,
yeah,
They had
yeah.
N1.
that was hard.
Yeah, so like that was those were my favorite go-tos. I had the Stephen Marbury's, I had the VCs, man. Like those were some of my go-tos. But the ones where you had the little flap over and you put the flap over the top, I don't even know what the name of them joints is called, man. But they was
You know
they
what
was
I'm talking
all
about.
white. But yeah, it was you had that little flap that you pulled over and you was like Velcro, you got Velcro that mug down. I thought I was a shit, man.
Hey, you was, bro. Hey, last one, and this one should be fairly easy. Favorite basketball player growing up?
Oh, easy. I got two though.
I'll give you two.
They virtually the same
I
player,
already know
but
who they are. I can I guess your two?
yes.
Penny and T Mac.
Man, yes, bro. I
For
didn't care
real?
nothing about Jordan, bro. I love Jordan, bro, but I did not care, bro. I didn't care. Bro, I had every Penny Hardaway jersey and every T Mac jersey, bro. Them was my niggas, bro.
That's why we got the pinstripe Della jerseys, right? That's why our new jerseys is pinstripe, because this
Hey,
nigga
but
like T
Chicago had
Max
them too, though,
and
man.
Penny.
Chicago and Chicago killed the game with them black pinstripes, bro.
Hey.
Yeah,
With them red
yeah,
pinstripes, the black with the green.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. What about you, Rod? So both of y'all younger than me. So you probably, let me guess you. You gotta be AI. Allen Iverson? No?
I'm like
That was said favorite player.
That was
he
me. I
was
was
at
AI.
one point. Yeah, at one point he was. But like, if you just want to say like my number one, like ain't no arguing that shit. Like period. It's Michael Jordan. That's because that's just
Oh,
who
it's
I
Mike. Mike, for real. Because I grew up watching Mike. So Mike retired when I was like about to go to high school. So when I was in high school and playing, that's when AI was like, shh. But I grew up watching Mike. So Mike, easy, hands down. That's a gimme. So you can't say
like.
Mike. You got
That's
to say somebody else.
okay. Okay. So I probably would say Kevin Garnett.
Ooh. I didn't see that.
Kevin
I like
Garnett.
that, though. I didn't
I
see
didn't
that
see
one.
that
I
one,
like that. Yeah.
Kevin Garnett. Like,
but
can nobody tell me shit? Can nobody tell me nothing about Kevin Garnett, bro? Can nobody tell me nothing? Like, I used to have
bro,
arguments about Tim and Tim Duncan. I
yeah,
used to be that person arguing that.
Hey,
But
bro,
like,
we ain't gonna disrespect Timmy now, but hey, I
no,
hear
I
you.
can't, but it's a you can't disrespect him. Like Timmy got him, but like Kevin Garnett was like
He was special. He was different.
that was it.
Coming out of high
KG and
school.
them.
Oof.
But like I'm gonna tell y'all though who like KG, yeah, but like KG was like a 1A, 1B type of. I'm gonna tell you who I really love, bro. I love his game, bro, and people forget about him at the point guard, but that nigga Nick Van Exel, bro.
oh
Hey,
yeah,
that
bro.
extra was
Oh
serious.
yeah,
Like that was
yeah,
you couldn't tell me nothing about Nicky V, bro. You couldn't tell me
Hey,
nothing
yeah.
about Nicky V, bro.
out there in
Like
LA.
he was Steve Francis before Steve
Hey,
Francis, bro.
franchise. Hey, Steve
It's hard to
franchise.
say. It's hard to say, but like
That's a
Kevin
good,
Garnett
that's a good
and
era.
Nick Van Exel, bro. I like Nick Van Exel. But like my favorite players didn't play the way that I played. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Garnett was a 4.
Yeah.
Me and Nick Van Exel game ain't near. I used to be a lefty though. That's why I liked him. I used to be lefty. Yeah, I didn't start shooting with my right hand until my junior year of high school.
Damn.
So that's why I like Nick Van Exel because he was a lefty.
That's
You know what I'm
funny.
saying? And,
Me and
yeah, Nick
Elgin are
Van Exel,
actually
bro.
left-handed. We both left-handed.
I shoot with my
Oh,
right
okay.
hand though.
Me too. Yeah, I shoot with my right. Like we the opposite of what you was. Like I'm
Yeah,
left-handed.
see, I shot with my left, but I'll right with my right. But like
Yeah.
basketball, I was straight left until I fractured.
Mhm.
Well, I think I fractured my wrist and still had to play the same week. So that nigga made me shoot with my right hand.
Like Kobe
And I
Bean.
never went back, bro. Never went back.
Nah. Hey guys, this was fun for real. I think we should probably do that. We could for real do this every week. We could do this Wednesdays on days where we in between practice. It don't got to be an hour. You know, we could probably do 30, 45, whatever. It don't matter. But yeah, man, we should do this regularly. I'm gonna post it to the Della No, it's Girls Basketball 2023 YouTube, where all of our Della games are. That's where I'm gonna post it to.